is a story that scarred Seattle. An ordinary morning turned to tragedy. An elderly dog walker and her pup killed in broad daylight. More than a year later, Ruth Dalton's case continues to make headlines, but not progress. Dozens of court documents obtained by KIRO 7 laying out a cycle of mental illness, refused medication, and delays in due process. KIRO 7 investigates a system built for fairness, now frozen in repeat. So how does the law balance rights, care, and conviction when a defendant won't take their meds? And that is the question KIRO 7's Elle Thomas has been trying to get answered for months. Tonight, only on KIRO 7, Elle takes us inside Western State Hospital, exposing the challenges of restoring competency in violent felony cases, as she investigates what happens when treatment replaces trial.
Please rise. Your court is now in session.
I will find that the defendant's competent to proceed.
It's a ruling that typically means progress.
Witness would testify.
A trial on the horizon.
All right, I signed those orders.
But for Melanie Roberts,
it's a yo-yo back and forth.
It doesn't mean much.
He's competent, he's not competent.
Melanie has attended this same mental competency hearing 3 times in 15 months.
Now we're to where we were in December.
And every time, Jamed Haynes, the man charged with her grandmother's murder, has sat in front of her.
Matter of the state of Washington versus Jamed Kamal Haynes.
As progress is paused by psychosis.
We don't know if he's going to be taking his medication. If he stops it, then we're going to get back on that merry-go-round again. And let's face it, I'm tired of him being in control.
According to a mental evaluation from the Department of Social and Health Services, the day 80-year-old Ruth Dalton and her dog Prince were killed, Haynes told doctors he believed police had replaced people in the video of the crime with mannequins. Doctors called it delusion, consistent with decades of diagnosed schizophrenia, antisocial personality disorder, and a history of medication refusal across 8 felonies and 2 strikes.
There has to be some point in time where you have to understand that someone is beyond help.
Since then, Haynes has traded cell walls for hospital halls 5 times, toggling between medicated mental restoration and pill-refused regression. In the hospital, he complies. In jail, he denies.
I printed off every court doc I could find regarding mental competency for Haynes, just in your grandmother's case.
All the while, Melanie has been stuck in a legal purgatory where no one gets closure.
How does that make you feel?
He had 8 felonies prior to this day. This inch shouldn't be here. It's sad.
KIRO 7 was given exclusive access to Western State Psychiatric Hospital, the cognitive crossroads. Here, progress is measured in months, not moments, and treatment isn't a choice, it's the condition of release.
What would be kind of the recipe for restoration?
So the main ingredient in that mix is going to be medication.
Dr. Thomas Kinlan directs forensic services for Washington's Office of Forensic Mental Health Services under DSHS.
I think the biggest misunderstanding is that competency services is like the gateway to successful ongoing behavioral health treatment and recovery in the community. It's really not that. Our goal is to get someone to be competent, which is assist in their defense, understand the proceedings.
It's not a long-term fix.
It is not a long-term fix.
Per state law, a violent felony offender like Haynes has 3 consecutive opportunities totaling 1 year to rehabilitate before the courts can pursue a civil commitment. But if at any point competency is restored, the count restarts. And reaching mental clarity is essentially a coin flip. Data obtained by KIRO 7 shows a roughly 55% success rate after an initial 90-day stay. That rate goes down if a second stint is needed. And even patients who beat the odds often relapse behind bars. 1 in 10 readmitted within 3 months.
They go to a setting that's not designed to be therapeutic, and it spirals.
How often do competency findings change during a case?
Competency is fluid. One day you could be not competent, and the next day you could be competent.
Attorney Michael Scholler has no connection to the Haynes case, but can provide insight as a former public defender.
For folks who are found not competent, they are severely unwell. They're so detached from reality that they don't understand what they did at the time. These meds are very effective at treating mental health problems and bringing people out of psychotic states, but at a very high cost.
Medications can be forced in what's called a sell order, but both doctors and lawyers tell me it's difficult to get and noncompliance needs to be proven.
It's also enshrined in the Constitution because antipsychotics, not only is it considered a privacy violation to forcibly put something in you that you don't want, it's actually deeper than that because it changes the way you think.
Statewide, there are only about 100 sell orders approved each year. That's according to data we obtained from the Department of Corrections through a public records request.
We just can't involuntarily medicate someone. The judge at the end of the day making a final decision, looking into how are we balancing the rights of the individual, the needs of the state, and so on.
Bottom line, the Constitution requires treatment before trial, leaving care to collide with the courts.
It feels like they're upholding his rights higher than my grandmother's. She is somebody who deserves to be remembered and deserves justice.
Now Haynes' competency is back, and so are concerns that the cycle will continue. Medicate, refuse, repeat.
He's a killer, intended or not, sane or not. He is a killer, and he needs to be locked up.
Well, the question now, should the jail be required to share Haynes' medical information this time around so prosecutors know if he's taking his medications? That is for a judge to decide, and that hearing has not been scheduled yet. Now, we've been following this story for over a year. Ella's been all over this, and she will continue to follow it to the end. For the latest, stick with KIRO 7 on air and on our website, KIRO7.com.
Every story